Well, I'm Cora Chadwick, and I am directing Simply Simone.
I'm David Chadwick, and I'm going to be holding her hand. Just kidding. I'm going to be the music director.
It's about Nina Simone. She was a jazz musician, a civil rights activist, and really just a trailblazing woman of color. Well, her goal was to be the first black classical pianist. She became very iconic. She has a very distinctive voice, and so she actually developed into a jazz musician sort of by happenstance, trying to pay the bills. And eventually she became drawn into the civil rights music movement, and she used that opportunity to write songs that were bold, songs that, would really sort of articulate the frustration that the African American community was feeling at that time. For example, probably her most notable song is called Mississippi Goddamn. Okay, so she didn't bite her tongue. And I think it really emboldened, it gave a voice to some of the activists at that time, and also instilled some pride. One of her songs was "To Be Young, Gifted, and Black," which put music to one of Langston Hughes' most famous poems, and so she really sort of helped to empower a generation and to gave them a way to continue to articulate their frustration without being violent. It was still nonviolent, but it stepped it up to where people were listening a little more, I think.
It's a jazz type feel, so a lot of stand-up bass, a lot of acoustic piano, not many electric instruments. Even the guitar was an acoustic guitar. So it had that jazz flavor. The drums had the brushes instead of the sticks. So but it's really, I call it sassy, committed, sexy music, and I mean that.
We've got Yvonne Wilson, who actually recently played Shug Avery in The Color Purple. So she is extremely talented. She's got a very distinctive voice. Really, honestly, she walked in for the auditions and I thought, there's my Nina, because she just has that Nina vibe to her. Sort of in your face, sort of sultry, and, but fun. So we've got Yvonne. We've also got Krishanda Royal Jones. She was also in The Color Purple. She was a church lady. And Krishanda has a very distinctive style of her own, which is great. It really lends itself to the type of music that we're doing. She's just jazzy, naturally. That's just what comes out of her. It's a gorgeous voice, so she's going to be our second Nina. The play actually involves 4 stages of Nina's life. And so each actress is sort of portraying her at a different stage in her life. So Yvonne will be Nina number 3. Krishanda is playing Nina 2. Nina 1 will be Michael Adams, who has been active at New Bern Civic for a while. She played, I first met her when she played Charlie in Willy Wonka Jr., and she was also in The Color Purple. So, this is a veteran cast. But, we were listening to her Saturday, and her voice is maturing so beautifully. So Michael's going to be Nina number 1. And Nina 4 is actually new to New Bern Civic. Her name is Shantae Gary, but she also has just a wonderful, rich alto voice. She's perfect for Nina 4, just the way she carries herself. Once Nina had really just settled into being comfortable with who she was and enjoying her success. And Shantae sort of just carries herself in that sort of, elegant, poised way. So it's going to be really, really great.
So, David, what's it like being the one guy in all of this?
A lot of fun. A lot of fun. But all the ladies are really talented, and they've been, we've had 2 rehearsals. They've been working pretty hard on it, because there's a lot of music in this production. So the harmonies are starting to come together, and it's going to be a great show. I want them, when they leave the show, to think that they've actually met Nina Simone and known her since she was a little girl to the time she was a grown woman.
I second what he said. I want them to really get an idea of who she was, and just to see the humanity in all the different stages. You know, what's so fun about it is we do get to see, you know, a different mindset at each age in her life. However, each stage is very relatable. I think we can all look at a viewpoint of, you know, from when she was young and think, wow, I remember that. You know, I can connect to that. But also, just to fall in love with the music. Her music has such range, and just you can see the level of talent. She really was a musical genius in a way. You know, she stood her own ground. She's very distinctive, and just to for some to be introduced to her music and for others to be reacquainted with it, I think it's going to be a very inspirational, just an inspirational event. You really don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a good time.
My baby just